here we go. It's a Saturday. It's April 24th at 11:30 in the morning. Yeah, and I just have to admit to myself, what gets out, gets out, and what doesn't, doesn't. I'm working too hard inside myself to be okay. So I watched these two last night, or actually I watched this one. I watched this one maybe a few weeks ago, the Stepford Wives. And I, as a divine energy, Melanin Man, biological living light, did an atrocious show 2 days ago on Earth Day for CCTV. And it's mind over matter. I can't say that there are conspiracies out there trying to attack me. It's me attacking myself. So I have to learn to let go of the energies, and I can be the perfect individual within myself. I mean, the Stepford Wives was dealing with the second one. She created robots. Speaking of robots, Seri, thank you for being my good bitch.
Sure thing.
So, dealing with this nonsense, my population control, children wishing to rule, control, and dominate. And I, as Melanin Man, have learned through 20 years of Master Heed's tutelage, meditation and movement. And that's what I'm proposing, is that we figure out how to communicate in our movement and allow the spiritual aspect of our divinity to intermingle with the intellectual part of our humanity and deal with our emotions. What? George Floyd, the cop left his knee on the nigger's neck for 6 minutes after the nigger died? And I don't need to show you any more pictures. I know what I'm up against. I mean, this is our story with the child that has a power control issue. And so COVID-19, how real is that in comparison to this? And as Melanin Man, let's bring all of these out here. I want to try to bring up, we want to end with that one. Let's not leave this one out too. 1913, Seeds of Conflict, Gay Pride. I mean, if gay people can be proud, it's like, am I not black gold? I am biological living light being considered a minority and can't even have my own spirituality. What do you mean I gotta serve Jesus Christ? Yeah, he was light as a feather. He could walk on water, but I can too. What? Moses was put in the Nile and went upriver to the Mediterranean. He heard, I am that I am. He was listening to me as biological living light, a black man, saying, well, wait a minute, the eye is drawn this way, the one is drawn this way. That means something. And as a spiritual media I don't like to use the word professional. That means a hoe. So the connotations, I don't want to deal with dead slaveholders. I'm talking about an ability to be able to issue energies and understand movement and understand our divinity within ourselves. So from pride to seeds of the Ottoman, the Jews, the early encounters between the Jewish and the Arab nationalism. I mean, in pride. And so I'm dealing under all this, his story. Oh, I mean, I really got to give Lean major. I mean, Michael Collins. Does anyone know who I really am? And then Rob Roy dealing with under the British. Oh, and let's not leave the British out. The British, I mean, what? We are a colon or a colony of the British, but in the bank job, there's still some pictures in a vault till 2053. So, dealing with coming from watching these particular DVDs and the Stepford Wives, this was really beautiful. It was animated, very well done, but pride. In Africa, and dealing with the lions, and the lions talking, and the female lions chasing and hunting, raising the children. And why do we have to do all this for the men? Because he roars the loudest. He's like, oh boy, here comes. It was a great story. Y'all gotta watch that one. But my boy, Eddie, I mean, 3 generations. So in this particular generation, me and Eddie about the same age. I'm 59, but Richard Pryor has always been a mentor, along with Fred Sanford. And I'm working to change the mindset of working under this particular frame of thinking for 400 years, where we value dead slaveholders or something with no integrity and energy outside of ourselves. And so now I'm looking to pull together my own Stepford Wives or my own humanity, where no, you don't have to be a robot. And I mean, Eddie with Harlem Nights, he was the little young boy that grew up under Richard's tutelage, and they ran the casinos, and then the gangsters was like, them niggas is making too much money. We got And then Rich took care of him, and I love that role for Richard Pryor. It's like, you talk about mentor of mentors. What a genius, having to survive during what? Would I just say 1913? And I mean, all of our lineage, all of the melanin dominant biological living light people having to survive for 400 years after so much doubt, so much fear, so much self-hate. You're a minority. You're a nigger. Nigger, nigger, nigger. What did I just say to Seri? Seri, thank you for being my good nigger.
My pleasure.
So can I get more people to stop paying attention to the definition levels of words and deal in the concept or the intent or the connotation, just like look at that picture. That is so rich. 3 generations of melanin dominant black men that survived using humor And now I'm taking the humor to, well, wait a minute, why did the ancestors draw that one? Why did the ancestors draw that I? Why did the ancestors draw that two? Here, let me show you my two. This is the number two, but that's the verse side. What about the converse? Do you deal with, what does the Bible say? Walk by faith, not by sight. For faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. So here the fuck I am. I'm dealing with me as biological living light, understanding my DNA and connecting the substantial with the insubstantial. That's what the two represents. Can this be comprehended? Can you deal with your insubstantial side by being still? Now, talking about a future, not using dead slaveholders, what about, now we're in the COVID virus, covert virus 19. Was there a covert virus 18, 17? And dealing with the essentials and the non-essentials. Do you see yourself as essential or a non-essential? As soon as I was born and came out my mother's womb, after residing 9 months as a fetus inside of her. Wait a minute, what does that 9 represent? Oh, a full sphere at the top of the stem. So I get from 1 to 9, and each one of the digits have a spiritual connotation or a spiritual intent. 3, what? Denotative, connotative, absolute, abstract. 3, breast. But right here, wait a minute, is this going into the depth underneath? Here's the 2 parabolas, but in between the parabola is your thorax. Now, what about the booty? There's the 2 butt cheeks, the gluteus maximus, the largest muscle in the human body, and melanin dominant women, oh my goodness. Some of those onion booties. And what does that mean? And then right here at the base of the spine, where the pelvis meets the spine, does it get to the mind that she is divine and deserves to be revered? Oh, Harvard, an institution established just for insecure white men back then. But who am I to continue to perpetuate their nonsense? I am Melanin Man, biological living light, 13 minutes into the segment. 13. Let's bring up the Super Bowl. Yes, he only scored 9 points, but Brady scored 31. He put the ass in front of himself. No, I'm no longer keeping ass in front of me. I'm seeing myself as a divine energy ass. My ass and my mind communicate. So I'm trying to teach this type of consciousness, meditation, and movement. Fuck their bullshit, all this, oh, he's saying bad words. Is there a bad word when I'm trying to convey a concept of your divinity inside your own? Are you accessing your own spirituality? Do you believe in your touch? I believe in my touch. I'm healing myself. Thank you, Master Heej. Taught me the cultural massages, how to massage my own scalp and issue chi and energy of my divinity and my spirituality back within me to keep me infinite. So whether I die or not, this thought process continues. So fuck you and think it's not illegal yet, bitches.